You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire tourism community, and I'm your host Wanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean Paul Lack.
Together we are
Robring.
How's every single one of you, family? Welcome to another episode of our show, and it's time to talk about NXT UK, the best brand in the WWE, the ones that has the best booking and also I would say the better competitors, better storytelling. And this episode had 2 championship matches, so it was kind of like a giveaway for what it's gonna be, Christmas and all at the end of 2021. So we got to see both champions right there on top of the overlay, defending their championships. It was a very good show, but like you said, maybe in the men's match, kind of I want to say stupid, but I want to say a tainted ending of it. Maybe they could have done something a little better for.
Yeah, the ending we saw, I did say, man, I hope that they somehow continue this feud because I don't want to see it end after one match. I'd like to see maybe 2 or 3 matches. And it seems like we're going to at least get another match, but just the way they did this ending, the way it came out, because if they would have did it correctly, and it would have, been good, then it would have, but they kind of botched it, and it just made it a little bit so.
Yeah, it just kind of that.
But I mean, and some of the other segments, maybe personally, you and I would have tweaked them a little bit different, but otherwise, I would say, again, another solid episode of NXT UK. The one thing is that they never do anything too insulting. They're not like Raw or SmackDown where they insult your intelligence or anything. Yeah,
because the lowest point is one of the highest for Monday Night Raw is SmackDown.
Oh, exactly.
That's how it is, the comparison that you can do. So thank you so very much, though. Thank you for the love and support that you give us. Thank you for all of the support, the reception for this video, AEW Dynamite from yesterday. Cody Rhodes and Andrade El Idolo in Atlanta street fight match. Because every time that they go to a city, they just add the street fight title, and then all of a sudden they got to do toys. A pretty good Dynamite though, like Paul says always, they have the bigger names and everybody's excited to be there. Like you said, what did you say to me, Paul? Brian Danielson is excited to be there. He can cut the promo that he wants. He can act as heelish as he wants. So good show.
Yeah, all these guys, AEW is the one show where it's this is where wrestling lives and breathes. I mean, we might not like, the wrestling of each and every segment, but it's still a place where it is what it is and it can grow and be its own thing. Where WWE, it has to be approved by one man and one man only. So, but back to this show, it was good up until the main event. Like we said, we don't really care about Cody. We don't care about Andrade. But the one thing, we got to put them over for, and we definitely did in the review, go check it out. And thank you, everybody who did so far, is, they put their bodies through the line, especially Cody. And, it was a pretty brutal match, but for what, though? What did it mean? Is Cody going to go after somebody? Yeah. Yeah, what is Cody going to go after, Hangman Adam Page or, somebody like that now? He can't challenge for the... But see, Cody can't challenge for the world title, so he just has meaningless feuds.
Well, I remember it was as long as Jericho was the champion, I think it was. So
no, it was
forever.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So again, you said meaningless.
He's forever. He's I can't ever challenge for the world title.
But like you said, we hope that they do something with it, because again, there were some gruesome pictures of Cody with the flames and everything. He took the whole dive like a man, and we gotta praise him for that. But don't forget, watch that review. Oh, let's get each other. Let's go to this show, and it started with a women's championship match. Meiko Satomura goes against Xia Brookside, a new version of Xia Brookside that she's a heel now. She changed a little bit of the moveset, a lot of more the heelish tactics, getting some heat from the fans, trying to go in that kind of route to get Meiko Satomura to not stay focused and to get to steal that win. And it was good. I liked it. And Xia is good, but the only thing, when she came out as babyface again. The way that she does the airplane and all of that. But Meiko, there was no way that Xia Brookside was going to take that title away, because we actually can see who's going to take that title away from Meiko. So Paul, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, and I'm glad she did kind of come out babyface, because this is a thing right now in her character where she's acting like a spoiled brat, but she doesn't think that there's anything wrong with it. And I think losing this match here is going to be maybe the full heel turn. Maybe she's even going to have different attire, a different look, entirely and stuff. But, I mean, this match was pretty good. It was done correctly. Meiko dominated, I would say, most of it. Zaya got some heat eventually, took over, okay, is she going to win? Some big moves here, but no, you knew that title wasn't going to change hands. Like we said, if anybody's going to be taking that, it's Blair Davenport. She's the biggest threat right now. And, we saw a stare down afterwards. It was Amelia McKenzie and her in the back, and they're just like, yee, chilling. She's like, oh, I'm going to go back to Japan. I'm going to rest. I'm going to see my husband. We're both legit. We're shooters, it's badass.
Yeah, they are.
And then,
both of them are. Yes,
and then Amelia's like, oh, okay, it'll be legit. Don't worry. And then Blair Davenport came up, and then she's like, oh, what are you going to do when, you don't have your friend to take care of you, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, let's find out. So we're going to have this match. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good match. And I hope Davenport does win. I hope they don't do no Monday Night Raw booking where like the heel that's supposed to be getting momentum loses.
No, they won't do it right.
No, and I also hope after the match she gets some heat and beats up McKenzie. To be like, yes, stay in, because then she can cut the promo. Stay in Japan. You're too scared. Look what I did to your friend. Get some heat. Ooh, boo. It'll be good. So I'm looking forward to it.
No, and like I said, next week we're going to see this match, so it's good. This is going to be the beginning of that rivalry with Meiko.
And throw up that picture one more time. That looks like a total heel versus babyface. Like when you just look at those two women. I'm looking forward to this.
No, it's going to be good. Exactly. I like that. So let's go to the next one, Paul. And this is a promo by, the newest member of like the Familia, like you said, like the Familia from Theo Man, and that's Charlie Dempsey. Like Raja is the one that like welcomes him, and they actually, it's like a big house, really fancy, and they take him like upstairs to like the roof, and it's like, what is more important for you? And he's like lineage, family, heritage, all of that, and legacy. So like he's like, oh, I know that means the same for you. So they seem to be in the same page, and they seem to be like, again, they're still feuding with Gallus. And Theo Man was nowhere to be found. That's the problem. I'm like, what the hell is this? Is he away? What's going on? Is he with Japan with like Meiko Satomura or something? I don't know. But like with the walkie-talkie or the phone, I think it was, right? There was an iPhone or whatever.
Yeah, he
like,
just had him on like the phone. Yeah,
he's good. You're like, okay, yee. So welcome to the family. So Charlie Dempsey actually is part of now the Theo Man and Raja. This is good just because we finally have a credible staple for me. The family keeps growing. So it's time for them to really have the main event spot on NXT UK. I really think that now, they have in him, they have regal legacy, like you said, like heritage, all of that. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, for me, I would have had it where he just, maybe Theo Man was there in person. They all sit down, they raise a glass, they drink together, and it's like, for the family, and they have a drink, and you have some kind of dramatic music playing. You sell it like a movie. This was so weird. This segment felt a little off, and it made me go, hopefully somebody was just having a bad day in the booking, and it wasn't Vince McMahon and them creeping in with like the weird segments that don't make any sense. But this was still all right. Overall, Dempsey joining the group is the main thing. I like that. So
I liked it a lot. So that was going to be good. So let's go to the next one. This is Saxon Huxley going against Petey Williams, and not Billy Williams, but Williams. We got Kenny Williams. There's so many Williams and everything. But this is actually a match that we've seen before already. What, like 3 weeks ago or something? So it's a rematch. For some reason they did that. Like you said, maybe the booking was not there on point on this week. But despite that, they actually changed it up a little bit, so that makes sense because Kenny Williams was actually dominating this thing. Then Saxon a little bit, big man. And I remember you said when we covered the first match, is like Saxon has to sell for like a kid that is actually a lot smaller, and also like, and when it comes to like physique, also small. So that is a little weird, but in the end, we got to see like the music from like subculture, even like they got like the theme song and like the black and white background, so that allows Saxon Huxley to take the win, which is good because now they're one apiece, and Kenny Williams is going to continue to feud with Mike Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. So it makes sense. That means they did it right for both ends, and also Saxon gets a win, which is important.
Yeah, I mean, Saxon Huxley, maybe they're listening to us, here on that, the rope break, because we've been, the only channel consistently covering NXT UK.
That's right.
So we've been saying Saxon Huxley, like, look at this guy. He's not impressive, like, muscular wise, but he looks like a Bruiser Brody. How are you not pushing this guy legit? You job him out to literally everybody. And he gets an assisted win here, but at least it was a win. Hopefully it's some kind of momentum. moving him forward with something. But I mean, the main feud here I'm looking forward to see, because it's two guys similar stature, because you mentioned the size difference in this, is Mark Andrews and Kenny Williams. That's the feud I want to see. You know, the scum of the earth. You know, Mark Andrews is a great baby face. To me, Flash Morgan Webster's annoying. I'm sorry. You know, again, he looks like, you know, what band does he look like? Did you say? Does he look like the Beatles? Did you say?
He looks like the Beatles, yeah.
Yeah, like the Beatles,
like a John Lennon mixture,
yeah.
Like, you know, British rock from the 60s,
and
70s.
So his look isn't too serious, and then just the gimmick of slapping people and laughing and running away.
That
I mean,
hurt
it's annoying.
That
So to me, Mark Andrews is the main star. So I'm looking forward to this, you know, feud. But I do think Kenny Williams needs to go over, because unless they're gonna go, you know, maybe not to push. Maybe we're thinking these guys are higher on the card than they are. Maybe the winner of this is going to go after, you know, our Heritage Cup champion, and not the, you know, Ilja Dragunov.
We'll see. So, we'll see. Like you said, it's important. Like, at least.
So it might go after Noam Dar. So if that's the case, yeah. I mean, I think Kenny Williams should win.
So talking about, you mentioned Heritage Cup, and then we get to see Yogur. We got to see Sam Gradwell, and he's like talking to Shad Samuels, and they are actually going to have a match. It seems like, and then if Gradwell gets the win, he's going to get another shot of the Heritage Cup. So it's okay. And to me, it's good, because, again, all of a sudden you turn the guy babyface. Just, he's annoying, his personality is obnoxious, all of that, but yet he has that babyface-like persona just because he's funny.
I would just say, like, and also, you and I, what do we say each and every week? Oh, he's a great promo. Yes. You know, the guy is a good wrestler. He has size. He can talk. And, you know, his catchphrases are funny. Eventually you laugh. And what does that mean? He was a heel, but he got so over, he's a babyface. And they recognized it. So they're like, oh, let's turn this guy babyface. Let's, you know, have him in, you know, a good feud with our Heritage Cup champion. And, you know, I'm not going to say he wins it, but you know what? If he would win it, I wouldn't be upset.
No.
You know what I mean? I'd be like, this guy is, because what did he do? He put over all these guys. He made it. All these guys look like stars, you know, for the how many months? Hey, you know, give this guy his due. Give him his run.
No, I would like that. Yeah, I wouldn't be upset, because, again, like you said, he did so much for the brand. Aside of, like, in Tyler Bate, like, also Trent Seven. This is one of the beginners. This is one of the founding fathers of NXT UK. Why not return that if you did the same for Noam Dar?
Oh, yeah.
And you turn this guy babyface in the middle of all this storyline. You know, there you go. It could be a good thing, so they're going to have that match next week. So let's go now. So, like, the main match that is going to headline, you know, this show next week is going to be for the Tag Team Championships, and that's Pretty Deadly going against Monsters Mountain. Really good video package by both teams, you know, showcasing their abilities and their will to win and why they're going to win. You know, they present both of that idea from each team, so I like that. And, you know, we got to see for Pretty Deadly. First up, we beat him the first time. It was one of, like, the most important matches that we have. It was the most difficult, but yet we stay, you know, champions. So in the end, we're going to do it one more time. Same thing for Monsters Mountain. They're, like, completely convinced that they're going to do it. But there was that line, Paul. What happens if we don't win? So that's, to me, is going to be, finally they need to do that. They need to, like, make sure that this feud between these two begins, you know, next week. If not, then they're never going to do it.
To be honest, I was really impressed with the first match. I mean, yeah, this video package, everything about this was great. Again, this is why we say NXT UK. I mean, this is like I know this is the black and red brand, I guess you would call it. Or maybe they call it the black. I don't know if they call it black and gold or gold and red, whatever they call it. But to me, this is the last good thing of, like, NXT that's left. You know, like, that if you miss the normal NXT, you know, that used to be on, but you know, the black and gold, this is all you have left. But because this feels so great, you know, those video packages were always done so well. This was done great. The thing I'm looking forward to the most, besides the match itself, is who's going to turn heel. Yeah. You know, is it going to be Tyler Bate or Trent Seven?
No, yeah, it's going to be good. So, like, it's going to be a really way to main event this show. So, like you said, it needs to be the end for Monsters Mountain. I think Pretty Deadly, they're going to keep those championships, unless they're going to go completely south and they give the titles to Monsters Mountain, and then, you know, just have a babyface team. Then you probably need to have teams that are going to be heel and they're going to be ready in the pipeline just to, like, start to being challengers for this title.
I don't know. I think that they like Pretty Deadly. I think they're going to let them. Everybody has had a pretty long legit title reign. Nobody's had hot potato. The only thing is the Heritage Cup, but that's really not like a belt. That's like a cup. You know, maybe they treat that a little different and everything. But no, I think they're gonna get the win here because you've been teasing this. The fans are waiting for it. All of us, they hear what we're saying. Oh, who's gonna turn? We can't wait.
Yeah.
They know we're like drooling for it. We want to see it, so they're like, all right, we're gonna.
I don't think they're gonna disappoint.
Yeah.
So now let's go to like the main event, Paul, really fast, and that's like the NXT UK Championship. Ilja Dragunov, the Tsar, going against Rampage Brown. Pretty good match. It had all the ingredients for like a great showing. Unfortunately, in the execution, it did not deliver to the expectation. At the beginning, Rampage Brown completely dominated Ilja Dragunov, like hitting him with like the turnbuckle and all of those things outside, like damaging the back, and that will play a factor later in the match because he tried to like do this, and in the end he tries to lift him, do a lot of moves when it comes to Ilja Dragunov, but like the back will play a factor in it. What are your thoughts about it? And then we're just gonna talk about till the end. You know, well, the main thing.
We'll talk about everything. We'll talk about everything up until like the ending. Then you'll take us through that. But no, I mean, the match itself, I was surprised. You know, Dragunov when he got like the headlock. You know, early on he was just holding on to that, and even Rampage Brown would do like a backdrop suplex, but Dragunov would still hold on to the headlock. And I'm like, man, they're really pushing Dragunov strong. I thought, even though he is the champion, I thought maybe they would be like, oh, he'd have to fight from behind even in the beginning, you know, really try to get Rampage Brown over. But no, they had Dragunov looking strong in this. But no, like you said, eventually Brown, he went after the back, and that played a big factor, allowed Brown to take over. And then and then you saw him, it looked like he was almost twerking when he had his hands on his knees. I'm like, what the hell's Dragunov doing? He's like, you know, he does like a backdrop without using his hands, and he flips him over. You know, he starts, you know, dominant offense. And then he goes for this big enziguri. And then, you know, well, if you want to throw up the picture of the enziguri, and, you know, Rampage Brown, he was standing there and he wasn't going to put his hands up. Like, it looked like he was just going to eat that kick and just, you know, he trusts Dragunov legit. But then as Dragunov was kicking, it was like, oh shit, this isn't going to come nowhere near me. He like lunges forward with his hand in front of his face to look like he's trying to block it. But why would you lunge forward into a kick? Why wouldn't you just lunge back or don't move forward at all and the guy won't hit you? So the whole execution, unfortunately, the guys weren't in the right spot. And both these guys are, you know, they would hit this 99 out of 100 times. It was just, unfortunately, this one time is when it was on TV, you know, or being recorded. So, you know, at the time, I didn't think nothing of it. I thought, oh, okay, an enziguri, he didn't hit it, no big deal. Rampage Brown rolls to the outside. You're watching it, you know, he's like, oh,
referee's concerned.
The ref's looking, you know, the camera's on Dragunov, you know, cameras all over the place. You just hear, you know, the ring announcer go, oh, this match is being stopped, blah, blah, blah.
The referee did throw the X.
Oh, okay,
He did throw the X. He's like, no, it's like, but, you know, I think it's an X, it's like storyline X.
Yeah,
like,
because there's no way that hit. I mean, unless Dragunov had like a hidden switchblade in his shoe that when it came around, you know, the 9-inch blade came out and stabbed him in the head. You know, there's no way that anything could happen.
So I don't really think that was a problem. But like
I think this was just the way, because like they said, they've heard us, they've heard the fans, you know, everybody saying, don't just job him out in one match. You got to extend this. Have Rampage Brown cut a promo next week. That was fucking bullshit. I didn't submit. I didn't get pinned. I didn't want the match to end. I was fine. You know, he barely even hit me. Look at the footage. I don't know why they stopped it. You know, maybe I was a little groggy, but I could have still fought. You know, have him cut some kind of promo. He wants his match. You know, he wants his fair shot. No DQ. You know, no stoppage.
Exactly.
You know, pinfall or submission only.
Exactly. So, you know, that was good. Unfortunately, like you said, in the end, Ilja Dragunov retains the title. So, like, Rampage Brown is just pretty much like, oh, like, because of the injury, like, the match is over. So, in the end, like, he closes the show, and we get to see this as, like, the final thing we see. But what's going to happen later?
The only thing I can think of, maybe otherwise, if he actually is hurt, no, I didn't see it. But how was he on that back? How did he take that backdrop when Dragunov was just, you know, he had his hands on his knees and flipped him? Maybe Rampage Brown dropped him. Maybe he landed on his head and he was groggy. Maybe Dragunov saw he was done and was like, oh shit, I'm not going to kick him, you know, legit. We'll just do this thing, roll out and be like, that's what I mean. I need to go back and see that. Maybe he is legit hurt. We got to wait and see. But I do think this is just a whole way to extend this.
Yeah, it is a way to like just extend the feud. So like this is what we see at the end, and this closes the show for NXT UK. So pretty good. We'll see what happens next. The championship, the tag team championship match is going to be really good. So be with us for that, family. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and also we will be here for War Games. So family, don't forget to check us out. We're going to be actually on right when the show is over. We're going to be Rajan Paul and myself just talking about all of that. So where else can they find us?
Hey guys, make sure you follow us Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and now Spotify. And of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...